A come to terms, a glance into the creative process. Where does a good story come from? A word could be the seed or perhaps a phrase. Anything which sets the process of thought into motion. A sensation or emotional response can as easily turn into an embryonic contemplation, leading inexorably to the birth of a yarn as any purposeful brainstorming will. In fact, the former is sometimes more productively ingenious than the latter. I have been in both situations and have found this to be a basic truth. Searching for ideas, I've lost countless hours of sleep, pacing the floor between my coffee pot in the kitchen and my perch in front of the television in the living room. Smoking incessantly and staring out into the near oblivion of the early morning streets through windows that are long overdue to be cleaned. Broken pieces of decent ideas fleet through the meditations to be jotted down in a notebook already full of jumbled bits of other incidental considerations. Flipping hurriedly past pages of quick notes and quickly recorded chess games for a new piece of paper to sully with ink. More often than not, the idea flares brightly for a moment, then burns out like a match. Once in a great while, however, this has led to greater ideas. Usually it leaves me frustrated and nervously energized. I rub my eyes and light another cigarette. However, being instantly inspired by a song or a phrase, sometimes even a scent, the greater half of the quotient of my stories becomes, as if by celestial intervention, enriched all the more. The best way for me to describe this brand of stimulation is to briefly relate some specific instances. Usually, as it happens, I'm in some vacant state of mind. Either I've been awake for far too many hours or fighting off a bit of depression. The main ingredients for me seem to involve a great deal of solitude and introspection. When I'm alone and quietly lost in thought, my mind sometimes runs off in another direction entirely, leaving me to grow roots in the sofa and turn unconsciously with the light. As if rebelling, my mind abandons its post, refusing to be drawn into a vegetable state. I will not be looking for ideas or even interested in writing, but something sparks itself into life, perhaps an internal sense of self-preservation. Something will cross my mind and the ideas come almost in flawless order, faster than I can write or even type them down. Case in point, there is a song that I've heard hundreds of times before, but I've never paid it much attention. The song is Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross. There's a line from the chorus that stuck in my head for days during a specific blue period. Thoughts of being trapped and wanting to just run away and start over were prevalent then. The line simply goes, and I've got such a long way to go to make it to the border of Mexico, and I've got to ride like the wind. This one line inspired me more on this occasion in particular than any intentional attempt at creativity that I had had to that point. I imagined someone riding a motorcycle across a desert with a suitcase full of cash. I imagined that he felt free, very much like I wanted to feel at the time, free from everything in his life that had turned to complete crap, and for the first time in a long time he was happy. So where did the money come from? If he was riding out of the country, who or what was he running from? Where was the conflict? It dawned on me effortlessly, and I was immediately uplifted from my negative frame of mind, almost to the very brink of giddiness. What possible other element could be better than someone racing to catch him? Was it someone who wanted this man dead? This line of thought made me ask myself what kind of vehicle should this other party be driving, and what was his motivation for relentless pursuit? The car was easy. The motive seemed obvious as well, because the first party had betrayed him, cheated and stolen from him, maybe even tried to kill him. I needed the pursuer to be desperate, so he was dying. What was he dying from? A gunshot wound inflicted by the first party? This was all I needed to proceed. I rolled a sheet of paper into the typewriter, and the short story The Wind was born. I don't know if I have any talent at this, and I won't claim to be a great writer, but I have a need to write. Sometimes without the impregnating seed of idea or inspiration, no matter what else my life becomes, and even if I never sell a single story, there will always be with me the need to write. A need in the truest sense of the word, just as I need to eat. I absolutely need to write. There is something holistically healing in the creative process of my life that I do not believe I could possibly live without. It seems to me that I have found purpose and a much welcomed release for the emotions and ideas that are imprisoned in my mind and heart, threatening to overtake me unless set free. April 8, 1995, Saturday, 6:39 a.m.
Extraño en movimiento, ¿realmente importa? ¿Siempre y cuando no tengas miedo de sentir? Tócame, abrázame, cómo me duelen los brazos abiertos, intenta enamorarte de mí, cómo me conmueve, cómo me mueves con la potencia de tu belleza, tú me das la vida, por favor, no me dejes ir, aplastas el lirio en mi alma, alma líquido en movimiento, sí, eres como el agua, fluyes alrededor de todo lo que se interpone en tu camino, no lo pienses, siempre te lleva a ti. Y pone tu espíritu a bailar, cómo me conmueve, cómo me mueves con la potencia de tu belleza, tú me das la vida, por favor, no me dejes ir, por favor, no me dejes ir, tú me das la vida, por favor, no me dejes ir, por favor, no me dejes ir, oh, tú me das la vida, por favor, no me dejes ir, por favor, no me dejes ir, aplastas el lirio en mi alma, la lirio.
Not really sick, but don't you know I still say I am. That just mumbled. There goes my girly son, acting up again. Stop it with me, Mike. Mom knows I'm playing it, but she understands what happened. It's my Lord. Last 4 days, the tough guys have been on alone. Finally, your name calling and pushing my hair. And I'm not so in, but they won't get their hands on me today. Cause home with mama. That's where I'm gonna stay. What they can drive me. Even if I got the power, I'm gonna be quality. The turns down. The only worry, but it's everything. Oh, they're gonna get it. Turn down. Is my
The best way for me to describe this brand of stimulation is to briefly relate some